Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Claiming Your Success Conversations with Caroline and Sabrina. Yes, again, you're seeing free floating hair. What do you mean? Listeners, this is Doreen Horsley. Honestly, Doreen, thank you and welcome. Sabrina, a
Welcome,
little
Doreen.
backstory.
Yes, please.
Literally, we've only known each other. I look back in the WhatsApp message, November 1st. Right, that's when
November.
last year was when me and Doreen connected, and that was via an app, a next door neighbor app, right?
Mm,
Where like she just saw me posting and showing things. I put a video up, and then it was just like, hey, I like this girl's energy. Let me connect
good.
with
I
her.
did.
And and it's like it's funny because we're both in London. Yeah, both in London basically. I've only met you in person twice, right?
Yeah.
There is such when we met the first time. There was it just it was just crazy peanut butter and jelly magnet kind of thing,
Absolutely.
um
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I just want, yeah, I don't have nothing more to say. I want Doreen to take over now because honestly, Sabrina, what she does is incredible. Like, it's just amazing.
So, Doreen,
Doreen,
tell
with
us
that being
about
said,
that.
yeah,
Tell us
I,
about that. Who are you?
I,
What is it that you're here for? Like, let's get into the meat of it.
and she does
absolutely.
work, and she does work full time too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I am what is you would call the founder of a amazing online community called Ambitious Ladies of London. Actually, it's not just online. We do meet in person. So I had this idea that I wanted to help soulpreneurs with their confidence because I'm a confidence coach, a life coach. And I wanted to build this community because I saw too many wonderful women struggling on their own and trying to work it out. And I still see it today. And I was working with a branding and marketing specialist. We've both been accountability partners. She lives in Florida. And we came up with this name, Ambitious, because I feel that I wanted to name the women I want in my community. And sad to say, I kept meeting people that were not really ambitious. Carol and I were talking just before about people that we come in contact with and they just start and they don't finish for whatever reason. But ambitious women will show up, and I wanted to attract ambitious ladies. So I started my branding marketing strategy. Said, Doreen, you need 100 people in your WhatsApp group before you can even get started. So I started contacting people, and that's how I met Caroline. So I was on Nextdoor and she popped up dancing with all that lovely energy. And I was like, I like her. Let me send her a message. And I did. And she said, yeah, yeah, yeah. She joined the WhatsApp group. And the rest is history. That's kind of how we met. And so I was able to grow the community to 100 very quickly because I felt that there was a lot of women that wanted that community. They wanted
Mm,
sisters and they want something different because we're not just a networking group. We're more than networking. It's
mm,
all about supporting women with their confidence, with their mindset, with in-person connections, online events, whole heap of things.
mm. I
So
love
yeah,
that so much.
that's
And
ambitious
what
ladies.
I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing that you wanted a specific type of person to connect with. And so instead of hoping and wishing that maybe that's who I'll attract, you
Mm,
did the thing of naming it so that you could call it forward. And I love that
absolutely.
so much. And Caroline and I, through our episodes, we've only had a couple of episodes, just the two of us on this season, which has been amazing because we've had so many incredible women to talk to. But just we had a couple of episodes where we said the word ambitious like 17,000 times because
Lipo.
like that was it's just, I think it's just in our DNA. It's just who we are. And
Mm,
sometimes when you have that running through your blood and maybe you don't know what to call it because you come from a past or a family that doesn't really have that, they don't really get that,
yeah.
like, you're the first in your line that's kind of walking this path. You don't really know what to call it, but then when you hear someone name it and call it out to you, you're like, yes, hand up, it's me,
Exactly.
right? And but you can't do that if you don't have the wherewithal or the courage. I think some people kind of get scared, or they don't think that it's right for them, or they're qualified enough or
Mm,
something to be able to
mm,
speak it in that way and say, I'm starting this group and it's for ambitious women. Because some people are like, who am I to say what I want? Like, anyone will
yes.
do. And it's like, no, You have to call out what you want to get who you want.
To call it in, absolutely. And that's what I did. And then when I saw the response, the way ladies were coming forward, because the group, I used to have a WhatsApp group and it used to be called Lady Leaders. And there was just a few people in there, like friends, yeah. And I knew that I was going to create a community at some point, some kind of membership community, but I was just busy doing my coaching and everything else. So when I thought, you know what, there's 10 people in this group. Let me add to this. At least I only got to find 90, yeah. Because remember, my target was 100. Yeah. So as I'm adding them, as we went along, I was like, no, I'm renaming this Ambitious Ladies. And everybody that was in the group at that time was like, oh my goodness, because they did not look at themselves as a leader. There's only certain people that can lead and are leaders, but they could, equate to being an ambitious lady of London. And London, simply because that's the place we meet. You don't have to live in London. We're global. We've got people from France and Spain and Jamaica and America in our community. It's simply where we meet in person.
I love that so much. Oh man, I don't want to be the only one answering questions, but I've got so many questions.
Listen, can I just say something? I already knew this was going to be so powerful. I don't care if I'm sitting back and just listening because there's two powerhouses on this, and I know you two are going to be that. Please go. Okay.
The first question that pops into my head, just what you said there about the people that you were in that group with, they didn't necessarily equate themselves to leadership, or maybe they didn't think that they fit that mold. When you do have these women that, maybe from your own story or people that you've coached, people you've observed, or people in your community, you can kind of pull from that experience. Why is it, do you think, ambitious women get stuck in that, either not being able to like speak that way about themselves, like really connect that identity, or when they do, there's still something that holds them back from being able to fully step into ownership of that? What do you think that is?
What that is they don't think they're enough. And it comes down to their self-worth. Yeah. There may be something still stuck, something from their past that hasn't been resolved. Yeah. Because I, as an NLP coach, neuro-linguistic programming, confidence coach, I was working with a lot of women who had that low self-worth. And there's different spectrums, yeah, which is why I wanted to work with more the ambitious women, because at least I thought they'd do something, yeah. So these ones that are ambitious but can't step into leadership, hold back from speaking their voice, being seen, turning on their camera in a meeting, is because they don't think they're good enough. And I've worked, a lot of the ladies in the community have felt that. So what I've been doing within the community is creating space for them to step into leadership roles. So they come on our platform and they will mute the group, yeah, so that no one's allowed to speak apart from them. We call it Mentor Monday, but people call it different things like Momentum Monday or whatever. But it's a day they get to be in the spotlight, a day they get to introduce themselves. Now, it can be pretty daunting. Caroline's done it, didn't you, Caroline? It's not easy to, because Ambitious Ladies of London, we do the legwork. Yeah, we market it, we get everybody there. So you're turning up at a Zoom meeting and you've got at least 20 people in the audience and they're listening and they want to hear from you. And people are not used to that. People are used to either hiding, or, when I say hiding, not showing their face, not speaking their worth, not speaking their truth. Particularly it's hard on Zoom and online because you've got to look at yourself, yeah? You're seeing yourself looking back at yourself, right? It's easier in the networking in person because you can't see yourself. But when you're looking at yourself on Zoom, it's harder. Those feelings, those emotions of I'm not good enough surface. And so I've created that space where they can step in. And I've got video evidence and proof where ladies started from I'm not good enough, because I make them vlog as well, to now they're stepping in, they're showing up as leaders, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're making money because of working on their self-worth.
That's such a foundational thing, isn't it? It's a foundational thing. I think self-worth, it shows up in so many places in our lives. When that is lacking, it shows up it shows up
It does.
everywhere. And so
It
it's
really
not
does.
just in your career, it could be in your relationships, in your, habits, in the way you treat yourself, the things that you tolerate, don't tolerate, the standards you uphold in your life, the boundaries you set with people or don't set,
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
shows up like that. And I love that. I look at it as like a strategic tool. Like that mental Monday is not just something you pulled out of your backside. Like that's a strategic tool to get people to get out of their own freaking way. It's like jump into the deep end and let's just do it. Because I heard somebody put it this way, and I think I might have shared this on our podcast before, but they said, if you always dip a toe, the water will always be cold.
That's true. Yeah,
if you always just dip a toe, the water will always be cold. So sometimes you just have to dive in.
Jump in.
You do. What do you notice from your people when they do that? And I can imagine Caroline, because I had a similar experience with Caroline when we first got into business stuff together, kind of making her do the hard things. And it's like that initial kind of like, but then afterwards, it's so exhilarating. Like she would always come to me and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. So do you find that they're having that similar experience?
Absolutely. When they jump in initially, it's hard. But what I do, I'm a very empathetic person. So I smooth it out for them, as much as I can. And I empower them, because before this, again, I was doing empowerment coaching. So I try to help them to know that they are enough. And I even say to one lady, Nara Hope, she's our singer, she sang at our recent retreat, and I'll never forget, she said, Doreen, because she put something in our WhatsApp group and nobody responded, not one person said anything apart from me, and she was like, no one's going to show up. I said, people will show. And I said, and even if they don't, this is me and you having a one-on-one, right? Don't watch nothing. So she turned up at her Mental Monday. Ladies did show up. She had about 12 there, which is good, because I've seen people do events and no one shows, or one person show. And she sang for us. And since then, she's getting booked. People love her. She's amazing. And her confidence has risen. Remember, she's a singer. She's a Brazilian singer. She's got about 310,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah. But coming to the UK and starting afresh would have, dampened her confidence and made her feel, I'm not good enough. Yeah. And so you're right. It is about going into different spaces, depending on what it is. And suddenly you start facing those fears and thinking, your self-worth gets affected. And so, I have seen women, it's amazing once they jump in and they do the work, as you say, and it gets easier and easier. And now they're confident. Now they can walk, they can walk the walk, they can talk the talk. And that's good. That's what we're about. That's what I want to see.
That's so good. And I think it's a continual thing though, isn't it? It's not like for using Nara as that example, she struggled to do that in front of 12 people, but then she did it and she was great, and she's, evolving and expanding and growing. But then put Nara on a stage in front of 1,000 people, she's going to have those same doubts, those same kind of like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm scared, can I do this? But then she'll go out, she'll crush it, she'll do it. And then put her on a stage in front of 500,000, she'll have those same like, oh, I don't know. So it's like, I just want to make the point, in the way that you so beautifully put it, that we meet these hurdles and we meet these barriers and we overcome them, but it's not a one and done type thing. Right? Because at every level, like Caroline have said this, at every level there's another devil, right? You have to be able to continue to push yourself and evolve. Like growth is not a one and done situation, because the more you grow, the more you have to confront and face.
Exactly. There's always something bigger than you. Something's going to show up for you, but you can look back at your journey and think, I've got this. Yeah. That quiet confidence. I love that. I've used to coach mainly introverted, shy, nonchalant, reserved women. And because I am an introvert, I'm a quiet person. I'm not the loud person, but I'm quietly confident. And so when people meet me, they're like, I do not believe, Doreen, you're an introvert, but I am, by, I default, I'm more an ambivert now because I can hold my own. But so I know those fears. I know how hard it can be, but I know the growth that you can have. And so that's why you're absolutely right when you say every level, as Caroline said, there is a new devil, but you can confront it. And the next level, and then you confront it and you deal with it every time.
100%. I would love to know, Doreen, just a question that popped into my head. What would I, Caroline, our listeners, have to understand about you or know about you to truly understand why you do the work that you do?
What they need to know about me? They would need to know that I have very, say high, but I work with integrity and I have values that I adhere to. And they're the all values around how people are treated. It's very biblical, yeah? Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
That's what people definitely will see within all Ambitious Ladies of London, within the community. And that I am very loyal. I'm loyal to my word. If I say I'm going to show up, I'll show. And I'm a people person. I love people. I'll always help people, whoever you are. And one of my highest values is around fairness, equality, and justice. That gets my go. If I see injustice, it really triggers me. And so I try to treat everybody fairly. In such a way, and people have commented about that in my community, that they just love the way I do things. It's not aggressive, it's not even passive aggressive. It's a very dignified way of treating others, because I'm following in the footsteps of Jesus. So he's my role model, and so that's what I do.
Why coaching?
Coaching because not only do I want to help women, because I only work with women. Sorry, guys, if you're listening.
I don't have any.
Sorry for you, women. I am married and I do have a son, and I'm not against men, but I work with the wives and the sisters and the aunties and the mums, right? Why coaching? Because it's very powerful. I've seen people go from zero to hero through what I call rapid release coaching, feeling they're not good enough, and suddenly they're really. So if I can help somebody transform, I love seeing those transformations. I just love it. And so coaching does that, because I don't tell people what to do. I use the right questioning to help them reach the conclusions themselves. And then it's more powerful, because then it's not me. I'm just a guide. They're walking their path.
I want to now ask Sabrina, are you coaching? Because something I would want to share as well is Doreen started off with network marketing. And it's funny how you was network marketing, Sabrina, and then now all of a sudden you both are in your coaching. And something I shared on a reel I did today was the fact that, there's some people that do network marketing, and then there's some people that do network marketing and actually find where they're meant to be through that journey, which I feel like you two both have. So Sabrina, sorry, how come you now coaching?
How come I'm now coaching?
Well, how come
Good
you?
question.
Yeah.
I think for me, I am a very compassionate person, but also very no nonsense. I call it my no BS approach to coaching. Because simply I'm not here to watch other people struggle. And so if I see you doing something where you are the cause of the struggle in your life, as is the case for most people, because of your mindset, the way you approach things, whatever, I'm going to tell you about it in a compassionate, empathetic, real way. And I think for me, the pathway to coaching opened up because when I was in network marketing, I was mentoring women to start their businesses. There were so many people that started with all the best intentions. I would hear their hopes, their dreams, their big vision they had for the big, beautiful life that they wanted to live, the freedom they wanted to create, what they wanted to call forward for their families. And I would get so invested in that vision for them and be like, yeah, we're going to create this. We're going to do it. And then the minute they hit an obstacle, or they got a hater on social media, or they did a post and it didn't go viral, or they didn't hit $1 million in their first month of their business, they would quit. They would quit. They would just throw away all that hope, all those dreams, all the envision they had for what this could be, they would throw it away and go back to whatever it was that made them miserable and wanting to seek something different in the first place. And it would hurt my soul to watch that happen. And so for me, I was like, how can I better serve in this arena to help women kind of not continue to be the blocks, not like help them realize that a no or a failure or an obstacle or the struggle isn't the end of their journey. Even if it feels impossible, impossible isn't the end of the story unless they decide that it is. I was like, how can I do that? And coaching just, it was like a divine intervention. So I got educated, got certified, did all the things to put myself in a good professional position. And here I am. And I think I relate to you so much, Doreen, what you were saying about just the integrity piece and having those strong values from which you lead and believing in your people and really not being aggressive or harsh with what it is that you're saying, but really standing as an advocate for them to be able to live the lives that they want. I think any good coach has that as their foundation. They just want their people to get what they want to get out of this life.
Absolutely. And very similar to you, that's why I went from network marketing to coaching, because as you say, you see so many lovely people out there struggle, and you think you don't have to give up. As you said, there's a way out of this. And so yeah, you're right. Once you qualify, you understand and you see the transformation. There's certain coaching techniques I love that can really, people can transform right in front of your face. It's really empowering, not just for them, but for me as well.
Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely. It really is so empowering. I get goosebumps and chills, and you see it. You see the light go on behind someone's eyes, or you see them just kind of be like confronted with the truth as opposed to what was in front of them. And it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Doreen,
incredible.
what would you say is the cost for women that continue to stay stuck and continue to, do what we just identified is so common? What's the cost of them doing that rather than really taking everything that you teach and what you create in your community to help them change their lives? What's the cost for them?
Cost is that this time next year they're going to be in the same position. Nothing's going to move if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I always say, change nothing will change. Yeah. And so the cost is staying stuck, regret. Regret's a powerful negative or limiting belief, limited emotion. That regret of if only, because we're all getting older, we're not getting young, we're not going to stand still. So the cost is not even financial, but it's also emotional, mental. And so this is why I love what I do and love fellow coaches or people that are very passionate and are not staying stuck but are doing the work, because I know that you're either going to be leaders through your work, or people are going to see you and think, I want to be like her, I'm going to fix up. Hopefully they'll fix up. So it is a massive cost, because we don't get younger, we get older, and we can live a life of regret, and that's the worst.
So why do you think, because I think everything that you said is spot on, obviously, duh, but I feel like it's clear, like it's anyone who is in that position where they're stuck. It's obvious that if they don't do something, nothing will change, and they have to find a way to get themselves out of that stuckness. So why do you think so many people struggle to do exactly that?
Good question. I feel there's loads of reasons. It could be, and this is why I say it all the time, and I heard you kind of say it when you asked me a question. This is why I say that women have got to do the foundational work first. Yeah, because if the foundations have not, it's like any house, if it doesn't have a strong foundation, it's going to collapse. And so if you don't do the foundational mindset work, confidence work, self-worth work, self-esteem, whatever you do, you're going to stay stuck. And so I think that the reason why people who may know that they need to move on, stay where they are. Sometimes it's fear. Yeah. It's fear dressed up as procrastination, perfectionism, imposter syndrome. And sometimes it's that unwillingness to invest in their growth, because you've got to invest, you've got to pay to play. Yeah. And those that pay will pay attention. And so if they don't do any of those things, they're going to stay stuck. But it could be that they've had an experience where they've paid a lot of money. I meet a lot of women like that. And they got no results. So they don't have the trust. They don't trust people. That's why Ambitious Ladies of London isn't just about some of the things I've talked about. We are very much about building trust, building genuine connections. Because if the trust is not there, then it's all going to fall to pieces. The market, in my opinion, I know some people might say this is limiting, but I do believe the market is getting more and more saturated. More and more people are coming online with their dreams and their hopes of wanting to grow. And then they see others further along the line than them, and then they give up. So there's so many different factors that cause women to say, I'm just not good enough. I'm not going anywhere. She's better than me, that comparison mode. But it all comes down to their self-worth. And this is why I say, sort that out first. Or be in a community where you can get some support. Thankfully, Ambitious Ladies of London is that, because some of the ladies in the group that are not even kind of building businesses, they're in 9 to 5, or they are even unemployed, love it there. Say why? Because they feel empowered to be amongst a sisterhood of women that help them to see that they are enough.
Oh, so good. That community piece is, oh my God, I wish more people truly understood the power of community and investing your time and your energy, your effort, your money, all of it to get yourself in rooms and spaces like that.
Yes.
It's, oh man, so good.
So important, so important.
I wish
I
we had
just
like an hour.
Doreen had up. Doreen had up. How long was it? An hour or 30 minutes? I was like, it's 30 minutes.
I can do, it's up to you guys. I
Can't
can do
even.
maybe another
Gosh,
5 or 10 minutes, yeah? It's up to you
I'm
guys.
so
I
sorry.
mean,
Where have
this
I
is
gone?
so great. I don't know where you went, Caroline, but we don't need you anyway. You're fine. Doreen.
Oh, but I'm telling you, I'm sitting here and I'm getting so much value. So I know listeners are going to too, because I do YouTube are just going to rocket on this one. Oh no, carry on, carry on. I
No,
mean, there's
so
like,
good. I don't want to take up a bunch of your time, but I want to acknowledge you for the work that you do, because I think it's so powerful and it's so transformative, and it has the potential to really truly serve the people that you're here for. And the way in which you show up, I can just tell is who you are. It's not a facade that you're putting on. It's not a show you're putting on. It's just who you be. And more people need to operate in that energy. Because I think sometimes we think we have to pretend to be a certain way, or, we have the imposter syndrome. So I have to show up like this. Otherwise people aren't going to believe me or trust me or, want to work with me. And it's like, no, you have to just stand in the confidence that you have of who you are, and that being enough, knowing that we're all here to grow. Like, the demand of growth is that we get better at life. I heard somebody say that.
Right.
And so we're all here to grow. We're all here to get better at life. And you being in a position to serve your people just means you're just a few tiles ahead of them on the Scrabble board, right? You're just a few spaces
Few
in front
steps.
of them.
That's
It's
it.
not,
Yeah.
it's not anything more than that. I love that. I would love to know if there's like one thing you could give to our community, our listeners here, one nugget, one insight, one something that you've kind of gleaned in your professional and personal experience that you think could really like touch somebody, what would that be?
I think now, very good question, by the way. One thing I would say is to be authentic and be you. There's only one of you. There's only one of you. You are your brand. I say this all the time to my ladies. There could be hundreds of coaches out there. There could be loads of people in a network marketing company. I was going to call one out there, but I thought better not, because there's loads of them out there. There's so many out there, yeah? Let me be sensible here, you know. But there's only one of you. And so why, you know, there's no point in getting, don't get me wrong, I understand that we can look out and see somebody who you may feel better than you. But I say to my ladies, stay in your lane, be you, know you are the brand, and build the know, like, and trust genuinely. I say to people, even with Ambitious Ladies of London, it can take to now to whenever. I'm in no rush. It can just, you know, I'm just going in a flow. I don't get het up or overwhelmed about it's not growing fast enough. Everything in its time. And so I stay in my lane. And so I would encourage all listeners, stay in your lane, know that you are enough. You are your brand. There's no two of you. And so you're unique already. So you're 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of anybody anyway. And just keep going.
Love that. And let people like Doreen inspire you. You know, you listen to her and how eloquent she is and passionate she is about what she does. Let that be an inspiration for you to develop that skill set and that belief and that passion for yourself in what you're doing. Let Caroline be an inspiration to you for the joy and the energy that she just exudes everywhere she goes. Like everybody that you look up to should be not a source of comparison and making yourself wrong and self-flagellating and beat yourself around the head saying you suck, but they should be something aspirational for you, that belief that you can show up in that way that is authentic to you as well. I love that. Caroline, what would be your like top thing that you would say to somebody listening?
was about to say, just go and do it. Otherwise, someone else don't do it for you, and then you're gonna be vexed. And that was something I heard as well. It was honestly, it was one line, and someone said, "If don't worry about you don't want to show up, I'll show up. I'll take the people for myself." No, go claim what's yours. Sorry, that's it. That's all I've
Love
got.
it.
That is all
I
I've
mean,
got.
that's it. That's all you need to say. Claim what's yours.
Yeah.
Man, so good.
Oh, that's it.
That's all we
Thank
got
There's
time
you,
some.
ladies.
for.
Oh my goodness, it's
Thank
been
Thank
you.
you.
amazing.
Thank you,
Amazing,
Doreen.
amazing. Do you know what? I watched one of your podcasts and I was just laughing because you two it was just the two of you. I was watching it and I was driving to go and pick up my husband from the station. I was just like, you two are just amazing. I knew this was going to be good. That's why when Caroline asked me, there was no hesitation.
Oh,
You know, I was
yay.
just like, yes, hello. So I love the energy that you both bounce off each other. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you both.
Thank you for joining us
Thank
and saying
you.
yes.
Amazing.
We appreciate you, and it's
Yeah.
been wonderful to get to know you a little bit. I have no doubt that you're going to just thrive in your career and have so many women that you're going to serve so powerfully. And I can't wait to watch that continue to expand and grow. Thank you for being here, Doreen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And that's it.
All right, fam.
Until next time,
time.
listeners.
Next time.